What's up guys, Julian here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a full disco house track. We're going to be talking about every element that you need to know to make a track in just a 10 to 15 minute video. To go along with this video, I've just dropped this entire template, actually literally this full track. Every single thing for the whole track that you need is right here, all laid out. The link is right at the top of the description. This really helps support me. If you guys enjoy these videos, definitely go grab this. I really don't make a whole lot off of YouTube, but with these sample packs and different stuff like this, I'm able to keep bringing you guys new videos every single day. And yeah, so thank you so much for the support, everybody. Definitely go grab that if you haven't already. And let's get started. So, right off the bat, here we have the kick and the bass at the top. So you can hear, these are pretty solid on the run. So a lot of people think like when you're making this type of track, you're going to start with the sample and kind of build everything around that. It's not really the case. What you really want to do is like find the sample. Like oftentimes the inspiration will come from finding a cool sample and just getting started with that. But once you have that sample, just tuck it away. And then what you're going to do is you're going to get like a good kick. And this is just one of mine that I've made. Super fat and punchy. And then we've also got this bass here. And so for the bass, what we did is I actually just kind of like listened to the sample. Like I'll actually take off the filtering so you can hear the bass line in the sample. And then I just tried to copy that. Right, so it's actually very simple to make the bass line. You just have to have like a good sound and then just try to make the bass line like in the track. Because if you try to do too much with the bass line, you're going to start to get a lot of dissonance between your bass and your sample. And it's going to kind of ruin the whole thing. So I've really learned to just try to use the bass line that's in the track or in your sample. But just try to like, make it sound a lot better by using a MIDI bass. It's going to be really fat. You can see here, I have this guitar bass sound here. So it's just a bunch of FM here with some sine waves and then one saw 4, a little bit of filtering, and then this pitch LFO, which you don't hear much of, just converting it to mono, and then it's being sidechained to the kick. So again, really simple. It's just more about having like a good bass line that's going to speak through. And yeah, so then on the group there, we just have a high pass filter. So this is just coming in at some different times, like for those little transitions there. Then we have the sample. So here's the original sample right here. I'll turn off all the processing. Right, so we're just taking that. It's just this cool sample from like some rock song from the 70s, I think, or something like that. And so I've got that where it's just like the whole phrase of, I think it's like 2 bars, yeah? But then we've also got this one, which is the same sample, but what I did, as you can see, I chopped it up. So if you right click on any audio clip, you can do the slice to new MIDI track, and then I did this just with quarter notes. So it's just chopping quarter notes of that sample, and then what happens is you have like this, like, right? It's just the whole sample there. But then what you can do is you have all those little phrases, and now you can chop it up a little bit. And the key word here is a little bit. I think a lot of people want to go and do all this extra stuff and try to make like a chop that's super complex and stuff. Actually, what I find to be a lot better is keep the original structure of the sample. Like you can right? But then there's little chops that kind of like break it up, like how this goes. Just make it sound like it's glitching essentially. Because if you try to do too much, like if you try to go and do like a, maybe we could do like. Like that is fun and all that, but it's going to get really messy, and you're going to have a lot of problems with that. I think it's a lot easier to kind of just stick to that original thing, and then make like a groove with that rather than like trying to make your own thing out of it, you know, because this is still gonna work with the bass line like this. And then on those two tracks, I don't have anything, so I like to kind of treat these as like one. So we just put them in a group, and then all the processing is on both of them at the same time. So it starts with just a little bit of drum bus to kind of make it a bit fatter, a little bit like more textured. I got it being sidechained to the kick. And then a high pass filter, of course, because you don't want this to get in the way of the bass. I have this washout, which comes in a lot of these transitions. And that's just like this macro here, which is controlling a high pass, a reverb, and then a bit of compression to kind of make it like a bit, kind of bring out the reverb. And then we also have a low pass filter, which is automating throughout the track to bring this in and out. And yeah, then we have the string here. So this is a pretty standard sort of like house string. You know, it's just that like a sample of a live string, and then you can see I've looped it. And we're using the fade here to make this like a smooth, like endless. Yeah, so you don't get any clicks when it loops back. And then we just have a bit of reverb, the Haas effect on here, which you can see we're doing with this audio effect right here, and a little bit of delay. Actually, a little bit of saturation to kind of bring it out and make it a bit more full. A compressor, which sidechains it to the kick. And then a high pass filter, and this utility, which just brings it in and out in a few different places. And yeah, then we have the vocals. So these vocals are pretty simple. You can see like this one just got a bit of reverb. I've got a bit of echo and reverb, and then some drum bus on the second track. The real thing here though is like the actual samples you're using. Like I think that's the key with this style, is it's really just understanding that like you can sit there and process a sample all day, but it's like if it's not the right one, it's just not gonna work in your track. And the people that make these types of tracks really understand that, so it's always like working with like the best vocal sample and the best disco sample. Like you're not gonna take like something that's kind of an alright vocal and try to work with it. Like you're just gonna look for like the best stuff. You know, these are some really catchy vocals. They're also really simple. It's not gonna take over the whole track. You know, you can still hear the vocal inside of the sample while hearing this too. And that's also kind of like how they're placed too. Like you can see, like here you get like a place up in love inside. You know, rather than just having them overlap. And then over here, same deal. Like with these vocals, you can see I pretty much make sure that they're never gonna play at the same time as this love inside sample. Then we have these last little stabs down here. So these exist to just kind of bring a little bit more life into the arrangement. You know, I think if you don't have something like this, it was getting like a little bit flat at some parts. So I just have like this. You know, it's just some nice like kind of vinyl samples, and they fit well with the like main sample. Just adding some magic there. These are kind of the same technique as with the sample, where I've got two of them, and then all the processing is just happening on this group. You can see we just have a bit of reverb, and then it's being sidechained to the kick. Then we have the actual percussion, which is all in one group here. And yeah, so it starts up here with this open hi-hat. And actually, I'll just show you the whole hi-hat, because what's happening is it's two layers. We have this like nice fat 909 style hi-hat, and then this more crispy like hi-hat, you know, that's more in the mid-range and more like punchy. And you put them together, and you can see you get one really fat hi-hat. And the other thing with that is that kind of gives you some arrangement flexibility, because like over here we can have just this one and still have the groove, but then when you get over here and you get the full thing, you know, it just makes it that much more impactful. And then we have this ride, and that's just a nice like 909 ride. And then I have this echo on here, which is splitting it into the left and right and delaying each one a little bit differently. I have this auto pin, which is making it kind of bounce up from the kick like that. And then, yeah, that's really it for the ride. Then we have this live house loop, just kind of adding something more organic. If you only used programmed percussion in this, it would get really flat. You need something live and like a loop that's going to give it like that more organic feel. We also have this, which is really organic sounding. And then this. Right, so all these come together and add a lot of groove in a very organic way underneath the track. And you can see also, like, it gives you an arrangement tool because you can have, like, this drops here, and this feels massive when it drops because you haven't heard anything else yet. But then all of a sudden we can come over here, and then now there's more percussion. So yeah, and then we have the clap, which is 2 layers. So we got this, which is just like a clap. I've got negative 14 milliseconds, so it's hitting like a little bit before the kick. And then this is like the main clap. And yeah, so then on the group of all that, I just got like a little high-end boost. And then this low-pass filter, which just makes these disappear at some different parts in the track. And the only other thing down here is just the effects. And the effects are actually going to be pretty simple. Like you can see, we really don't have that many. It's just like 3, like this little white noise sweep up, white noise down. I have a crash. And then I have this little fill as well. This is for one of my sample packs, actually. Just like right before the transition there. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Like I said, I just want to show you everything you need to know to make a full disco house track like this. It's not too hard, but if you know everything that you're doing, you can do it pretty quickly. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe, and let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this full project file, samples, MIDI, presets, literally everything from this entire template. It's available right at the top of the description. Definitely go grab that. It really helps support me. I don't make a whole lot just off of YouTube, but with these different templates and sample packs, I can keep bringing you guys new videos all the time about stuff that isn't out there from anybody else on the internet. Plus, you're going to really help support yourself. You get a great template that you could build a whole EP just with this template, just like getting creative with it and switching stuff out and kind of making your own thing out of it. So it's a really great value. Definitely go grab that. Thank you so much for all the support, guys, and I will see you tomorrow with another video.